Have you ever noticed how the loudest voices rarely carry the most authority? In meetings, arguments, or even online debates, volume often masquerades as power. Yet true strength, the kind that stops a room, reshapes a conversation, and leaves people silent in reflection, does not shout. It speaks with calm clarity. Our world has become a chorus of noise. Everyone wants to be heard, but few pause to listen. People think respect is won by dominance, by being the one who talks the most or interrupts the fastest. But the truth is the opposite. The more composed you are, the more control you command. Power doesn't live in volume. It lives in silence sharpened into precision. Picture yourself walking into a heated room. Voices overlap, tempers rise. Then you speak. Not loudly, not emotionally, but with steady confidence. A single sentence cuts through the noise, not because it was shouted, but because it carried weight. That is the art of verbal stoicism, to speak less, but mean more. Today, we'll explore 5 phrases that embody that strength. They are simple, even ordinary at first glance, but each is a small blade of wisdom, polished, sharp, and impossible to ignore. They're not just linguistic tools. They're habits of thought, reflections of self-mastery. Used correctly, they transform conversations, relationships, and your very presence. Phrase 1. I understand your point, but I disagree. This is not just a polite sentence. It's a disciplined act of power. Most arguments fail not because of facts, but because of pride. The moment you say you're wrong, the other person stops hearing you. Their ego takes over. Logic disappears, and what remains is defense. But when you start with, I understand your point, you disarm that ego. You signal respect, that you have listened, absorbed, and processed their view. You let them feel heard. Then calmly, without aggression, you add, but I disagree. You've drawn your boundary with poise. Picture this in a meeting. A colleague proposes a plan you know will backfire. Instead of cutting them off, you nod, wait, and then respond, I understand your point, but I disagree. Instantly, the energy shifts. You're no longer just another voice in the noise. You're a presence. Someone who listens, then decides. This phrase is pure stoicism in motion. It separates emotion from judgment. It shows that disagreement doesn't require hostility. Anyone can say, you're wrong. It takes control to say, I disagree, without losing calm. The calmer your tone, the sharper your authority. Marcus Aurelius wrote, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. To disagree respectfully is to honor both truth and dignity. The one who controls his voice controls the room. The one who controls his mind commands respect without asking for it. So carry this phrase with you. Use it at work, at home, in debates online or face-to-face. Speak it slowly, clearly, and without apology. I understand your point, but I disagree. You'll find that reason speaks loudest in the quietest tone. Phrase 2. I don't find that appropriate. 5 words. Simple, final, and incredibly powerful. We often allow disrespect to grow in silence. Someone crosses a line, a rude joke, a dismissive tone, a cruel remark, and instead of addressing it, we smile awkwardly or stay quiet. In that moment, we send an unspoken message. It's okay. But it's not. I don't find that appropriate ends that cycle. It doesn't scold or shame. It simply draws a line, firm and unshakable. When spoken calmly, it transforms the atmosphere of a room. Imagine sitting at a dinner table. When someone makes a cruel joke, you pause, breathe, and say evenly, I don't find that appropriate. No anger, no lecture, just a mirror held to their behavior. The laughter dies down. People notice. Respect fills the silence. Seneca wrote, he who respects himself will be respected by others. This phrase is that truth in action. It communicates self-respect more loudly than any argument ever could. You're not policing others. You're protecting your own standard. What's more, this phrase empowers others silently. When you set a boundary, you give permission for others to do the same. In every group, there are people who want to speak up, but don't know how. When you calmly set your standard, you show them the way. Boundaries are not walls. They are gates. They let the right energy in and keep the wrong energy out. I don't find that appropriate. is a gate built of dignity. Phrase 3, let's talk when we can do so respectfully. There comes a point in every argument when conversation dies and conflict begins. Voices rise, logic fades, and every sentence becomes a weapon. Most people either retaliate or withdraw. Neither restores peace. The Stoic way is different. When chaos grows, you shrink your voice, not your spirit. You step back and say, let's talk when we can do so respectfully. Those words are like cold water on fire. You refuse to participate in disrespect. You don't match anger with anger. You simply redefine the terms of engagement. Picture a heated office dispute. Someone interrupts you. Tone sharp and dismissive. Most would raise their voice in return. You, however, stay still. You look at them and say, let's talk when we can do so respectfully. The conversation stops. You reclaim control without confrontation. Epictetus taught, you cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. This phrase is that wisdom embodied. It's the art of pausing, the strength of restraint. In moments of tension, people listen most to the one who stays calm. The calm person becomes the anchor. When you use this phrase, you remind everyone, including yourself, that respect is not optional. It is the foundation of all meaningful dialogue. True power isn't found in winning arguments. It's found in knowing when an argument is no longer worth having. Phrase 4. I prefer not to continue this conversation. Not every battle deserves your energy. Some discussions are traps disguised as debates, endless loops where no truth is sought, only victory. This phrase is a shield. It says, my peace matters more than my point. Imagine someone trying to provoke you, repeating the same argument, twisting your words, pushing your buttons. Instead of reacting, you take a slow breath and say, I prefer not to continue this conversation. You don't slam the door. You close it gently but firmly. This isn't weakness. It's mastery. Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. When you walk away with grace, you prove that your peace is stronger than their chaos. The modern world rewards reaction. Social media, politics, even relationships push us toward instant replies and emotional outbursts. But silence, chosen deliberately, is not surrender. It's sovereignty. You are not obligated to participate in every debate. You owe no one your emotional labor. You have the right to protect your inner stillness. When you speak this phrase, you remind yourself that peace is a boundary you enforce with words. And in doing so, you earn something greater than victory. You earn freedom. Phrase 5, that's your opinion, and I respect it, but I don't share it. We live in an age of opinions. Everyone has one, and most want theirs to be universal truth. In that storm, the calm thinker stands out like a lighthouse, grounded, steady, unmoved by waves. This phrase allows you to disagree without conflict, to stand firm without hostility. It's a declaration of intellectual independence. When someone insists you think, believe, or live as they do, you can respond, that's your opinion, and I respect it, but I don't share it. That single sentence says, I hear you, I acknowledge you, but I remain myself. Seneca warned, being a slave to the opinions of others is the worst of prisons. This phrase is the key to that cell. It frees you from the pressure to conform while maintaining civility. In a world addicted to arguments, respectful disagreement is revolutionary. You don't need to prove anyone wrong. You only need to remain true. Respect doesn't mean surrender. It means recognizing another person's humanity while honoring your own. When you use this phrase, you set a tone of maturity and peace, the kind that commands silent admiration even from those who oppose you. Why these phrases make you stronger? Each of these phrases shares 3 quiet superpowers. They separate emotion from reaction. You don't fight fire with fire. You cool it with clarity. They establish boundaries. You teach people how to treat you, not with lectures, but with example. They project self-respect. And self-respect is the soil from which all external respect grows. These aren't just words. They are acts of philosophy. Every time you use one, you're practicing Stoicism in real life. You're reminding yourself that mastery of self is the foundation of all influence. The paradox of respect is simple. The less you chase it, the more it finds you. Applying Stoic speech in modern life, in the workplace, these phrases transform you from reactive to reliable. In relationships, they create safety through honesty. On social media, they end endless debates with grace. In public, they shield you from provocation. Respect begins where reactivity ends. When you choose calm words over chaos, you send a clear message: I control me. And that, more than any argument, commands attention. Conclusion: the Stoic challenge. Simple words, calm tone, but behind them lies immense power. Respect is never demanded. It is earned through the quiet strength of composure. When you speak with serenity and conviction, people listen differently. You no longer chase validation, you radiate it. You no longer need to prove worth, you embody it. So here's your Stoic challenge. For 1 week, choose one of these phrases. Use it. Live it. Watch how the room changes when you do. And when someone asks how you stay so calm, so centered, you'll know the truth. Because true power never yells. It simply speaks and the world listens.